I'm Jeremiah Boucher, a commercial real estate investor with over 20 years experience. This show is designed to help you build your business, become a better real estate investor, and help you see opportunities that will keep you ahead of the competition. This is Finding Your Edge.
What's up, guys? Hey, Jeremiah here, Finding Your Edge podcast. This episode's about discipline. It's the relationship that you have with discipline. What does it mean to you? And ultimately, I believe it is you against you, right? So we've all have this relationship where we, as a driven person, want to be disciplined, right? And we want to take repetitive actions and do everything that we're supposed to do. And it's supposed to be perfect, where you work out early, you do the long hours in the office, you spend all the time with your family, you make sure that you show up for your friends, everything is perfect in your life, and it's just not a reality. What I learned in my life is the more perfect the picture needs to be, the more likely I'm never going to achieve it. And I notice myself with discipline is I'm always putting someone else's disciplines out there, where I have to get up early and run 5 miles at 6 a.m., or I have to eat a perfect protein diet, or I have to make 500 phone calls a day or sales calls a day, and that it wasn't sustainable. I would set up this perfect picture, and then I was never aligned with what I was actually going after. So I would get sick, or I would go drinking, or I would go, just binge eat and watch movies, and I would just totally go off the rails and not get back to discipline. And what I learned over time is that it's you set the standard, right? You decide who you're going to be, and you decide what you're going to create. You decide what that bar is for you. And ultimately, it's about what standards, what are you going to uphold, like in your own life, because it comes down to you being the best version of you, right? And the farther you get away from that, the worse you feel about who you are, the worse you feel around other people. And the more you compare yourself to others, the more toxic that relationship is with whatever goal or dream you're chasing, because it's not yours. And I finally got to a place where I'm like, you know what? If I'm always envious, if I'm always trying to compare myself to others, if I'm always falling short, then I'm just pissed off and I am negative and I feel like shit. And it doesn't work. So I think we come up with these standards on our own. Like, what is it that you want to be great at? Like, what is that potential you want to realize? Like, what is it that you can push yourself towards every single day? And that is a personal choice. No one can do it for you. No one can tell you what it is. And it takes self-reflection. It takes self-awareness to really, really feel it. And I don't have it mastered, but in the times when I'm most prolific, right? When I'm most productive, it's when I know, like, this is the thing that I am going to be great at. And it takes 10 times more practice than I ever thought to be halfway decent at anything. And at this stage of my life at 43, I'm not going to get acknowledged by anyone, really. Like, I'm never going to be in a big sporting event. I'm never going to be at a performance in terms of being a musician or artist, and no one cares. I'm going to be average or better than average in a few areas of my life, but I still get up and I want to push myself to be better every single day, right? Because I know that love, I love this quote, it's love is a call to rise to your highest potential, right? Mike Tyson said that. And it always resonated with me that loving yourself and loving someone else is to command them to rise to their highest potential. And it starts with you, right? Because when you know who you are and what you really want, and sometimes it takes getting pushed in and backed up against the wall and then saying, you know what, enough is enough. Like, I deserve this because I'm going to work for it. Like, I'm worthy of this, right? I don't care what anyone else thinks. And the fear of what other people think and how you measure up and comparing yourself to others, and you don't want to disrupt them or get them angry or get them, get into conflict. And that shit keeps you locked in, keeps me locked into a little box. And that it never allows you to open up and express yourself. And I learned that where it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Everyone plays this game of life in their own way. And yeah, we all got to win the economic game. And this podcast is about winning at the game of commercial real estate, right? All the tools and skills and techniques of doing great deals, negotiating, raising capital, finding great investments, looking in great markets. And those things have to be done. And most of the time you're alone in an office. You're in front of a computer. You are writing in a journal. You are writing a business plan. You're working with a bank. You are working with a seller. Like you're pitching and raising investment capital. And that stuff is not that exciting at times, right? But when you know that you are here to be great at whatever it is you're going to be great at, then it's a different feeling, right? Then there's a different drive. And for me, I didn't have any other choice. I could not work for someone else. I was not an athlete. I didn't know why I was put on this earth, and I went and chased a ton of pleasures. I tried to make quick money, and I tried to escape from dealing with all the stress and the obstacles and the challenges that everyone's confronted with, because that is the nature of life, and it's a rough life out there. And it's easy to go worry, and it's easy to get caught in drama, and it's easy to go escape. But it's hard to just pick the same thing and drive on it. It's a battle every day. I don't think you ever get over it. That's it, man. That is the choice with discipline. Discipline is loving yourself, but loving yourself in a way where you know you and you go get what you want to go get, and you don't care what anyone else says. It's just something we all have to deal with, right? You got to look in the mirror and you got to be proud of who you are. Or you don't. You hate yourself. But you know what you're capable of, or at least the momentum to start on the journey. And if you never do it, you look back and you don't look back. You look every day in that mirror and you know you're not doing what you're capable of doing, and you know you sold yourself short. And I hated that feeling, looking in the mirror in life and knowing that I have this potential and I'm pissing it away because I'm afraid of the pain, right? And it's a lot of pain because it's not only working the 9 to 5 hours, it's getting up early at 6 a.m. and doing the extra journaling or doing the walking, and then going to the gym right after work, and then kicking in and doing extra videos or doing some extra work at night. And that anxiety and that pressure builds up, and you got to find ways to release. And having a partner and a loved one, it's so damn important for me to have that support, because the mind plays tricks on you, right? The mind will want to run away and escape and rationalize and do anything it can not to have to deal with the pain of just focusing constantly on this same goal, this craft, this skill. And that's where it takes every fucking ounce of energy to push through that and to stick with it. And by no means am I an expert, but I do know that the gift that you get in life is the discipline of creating who you want to be, how you want to express yourself, how you want to grow, whatever you want to build, right? This takes time, and money can't buy it. Money can't buy the makeup of who we are because of all of the choices and actions that we take. And there's two voices inside. There's that little voice that's afraid, and that little voice that tells you it's okay, just don't do it. You don't have to show up today. You don't have to do the workout. You don't have to do the extra video. You don't have to write the book. You don't have to make the extra call. You don't have to deal with the conflict with your coworker. And then there's this other voice that sees it for what it is, right? And it says, no, I've been down that path too long. I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to fucking tolerate it, right? And I was training today. I was working out, and I was under pressure, and I was worried about my girlfriend, and I was worried about work, and I was worried about my body, and all the chaos, all the stress was just static. And then when I was hitting the heavy bag, I was actually starting to breathe, and I was just breathing and watching, like, oh, okay, this is stress. Okay, this is pressure. This is tension. This is worry. But then I was able to just disassociate and look at it and then start calming my breath. And then I would start to see, you know what? I have a choice here. Like, I'm so wrapped up in this noise in my head, I didn't even know what was going on. I was just super tense and I could feel the energy draining versus just breathing. And I was able to just see it for what it was and say, you know what? I can choose whatever. I can control this mind. I can move my actions by just taking control and listening to this other voice about how I want to move my mind and move my body and what do I want to focus on, right? That's a choice for me that I have to make every single day, and it's a choice for you. So what voice do we listen to? Is it the voice that's going to tell us to just take it easy? It's not that important. You don't need to make that extra conversation. You don't need to have that conflict or that argument. Or is it that voice that says, no, that's not enough. Like, I'm not going to tolerate this. Like, I am going to get this fucking thing, right? I am going to make this happen. This is my goal. This is my dream. This is no one else. This is who I want to be, and I have to go earn it. And I have to earn it by every little decision that I make every single day. And then that's going to create the book of me, my story, right? Is my story boring or is my story exciting? And who cares if anyone else reads it? I live it. It's a movie. It's my movie. So it's up to you. Like, what are you doing every single day to get closer to your highest potential, to your dream, to your goal, to whatever you want to build and whoever you want to become? And it's up to you, not up to anyone else. It's no one else's. No one gives a shit when you're dead. So choose that dream wisely. And I'm choosing mine. And I'm just saying this because I got to keep the repetition and the message going. This is for me, so I can keep my own goals and my own discipline so I can be on path. That's the message, to keep reinforcing it and making it a habit and a pattern so it's so damn ingrained. I just take action automatically. So just think about your own life for a minute and think about, how do I do something every single day in multiple areas of my life to just get a little bit better? Having that relationship with discipline, when you put that work in, that every day it just shifts who you are, and it changes the way you look in the mirror, and it changes the way that people look at you, because you earned it. You earned it inside yourself. And that's the standard I'm setting myself to, and that's the one that I'll hold you to too. So, quick one here. So write those questions down in your journal. What's your potential? What do you want to build? Who do you want to be? What do you want to express? How do you want to show up to the people that you love in your life? It's all about discipline. Doing something that you hate, but doing it like you love it. Quote from Tyson, one of my favorite. What is it that you got to do every single day that means something to you?
For more information on commercial real estate investing, go to patriotholdings.com. Thanks for listening to Finding Your Edge.